If you have never had to clean taffy off a pig, consider yourself lucky. I wasn't one of the lucky ones. Jethro, my future mother-in-law's polka-dotted pot-bellied pig, was covered from his snout to the tip of his curly tail in sticky gingerbread taffy. He smelled like an exploded gingerbread house. Not that I had ever smelled such a thing, but I could imagine this would be the scent. The little pig looked up at me with his big brown eyes in a clear call for help, and maybe just a hint of blame. If I had not brought him to Swissman Candy Works, my candy factory tucked away in Ohio's scenic Amish country, he would not be in this predicament. In my defense, I hadn't had much of a choice in the matter. My future mother-in-law had foisted the pig on me at the last second. She'd said that the ladies of her church were having a present wrapping party in the church's fellowship hall, and Jethro would be in the way. It seemed to me that Juliet always thought Jethro would be in the way when it came to church activities. While Jethro made his plea, instrumental Christmas music played over the sound system. The holiday was just a week away. Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree was on heavy repeat, as it was my assistant Charlotte Little's favorite Christmas song now that she'd left the Amish faith. I wasn't sure what that said about her taste in music in her post-bonnet days. Swissman Candy Works had officially opened just before Halloween. The opening date was firm in my mind because I wanted to take full advantage of all the candy-loving holidays that rolled in at the end of the year. Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Christmas was the busiest time for the Candy Works and for the candy shop, which I co-owned with my grandmother. Amid everything that I had to do, I certainly didn't have time to wash a pig, or watch a pig for that matter. But here we were. My very first concern was that Jethro might be hurt. Molten taffy was nothing to mess around with. The taffy, before it is pulled, had to reach 254 degrees Fahrenheit. That was hot enough for second or even first-degree burns if a person, or in this case a pig, wasn't careful. Thankfully, the taffy he had gotten himself tangled up in was cool enough to work with, but unfortunately, it was still warm enough to be terribly sticky. Not to mention he smelled like the inside of a gingerbread house, and the scent mingled with the aroma of the lavender essential oil that Juliet insisted he needed to have massaged into his hooves each morning to keep him healthy. Have I mentioned that Jethro was spoiled? No one was rubbing essential oils into my feet, that was for certain. I brushed my ponytail over my shoulder. The last thing I needed was taffy in my curls. I don't have the slightest clue how you get into these situations, Jethro. It's like you seek out trouble, but only when you're in my charge. Would you do anything like this when you were with Juliet?